O'Sullivan centre stage in front of crowd. He won the last of his 7 world titles, for now anyway, in 2022. That was the year Mink Nutcharut won the Women's World Championship. And of course there are 4 places for female players on the World Snooker Tour. She was saying last week, really looking forward to this, as you can understand. She's not favoured to win, but let's hope she plays her best.
About his appetite and application. I think he's been questioning himself. Seems to have a lot of other interests going at the moment. Modest start to the season, you'd have to say, for him, but this is one of the big tournaments, followed by the Champion of Champions and also the UK Championship, which is always one of his priorities. So we're just interested to see today, and then probably this week, what his mindset is like.
Yeah, of course, at the English Open he was playing predominantly left-handed and didn't get the results he wanted. We didn't see that pot go in, unfortunately, but Mink did pot it. Apologies for that, but anyway, she knocked it in. Here we go.
Noticeable how good her long putting was. Great straight cueist.
Well, she's played a lot of her snooker on the tour, you know, let's be honest, in qualifiers where there's not a lot of people watching. What a great pot that is on the brown. So she set her stall out already. She's involved here in a big occasion, so it's something I'm sure she'll respond to. It's what you want to be experiencing.
Mink Nutcharut 5.
O'Sullivan won 5 titles last season, including the UK Championship and the Masters, but he wasn't happy with his game in early season, even though he went deep in a couple of events. Hence, he said he switched to his left hand to give himself something new to sort of think about. He's fluked that one. You just never know with him, do you? But what we do know is he's capable of the type of snooker that no one else is, and if he can turn that on this week, of course, he could, well, be leaving with the trophy again.
Yeah, no apology there from Ronnie for that fluke. It was unusual for him.
Well, I think I saw sort of half a hand. It was sort of just half, but I think it was a slight acknowledgement.
He's not that good at these playing those. But again, the start he wanted, certainly not the start Mink would have wanted to give him an early opportunity, particularly with the ball spread.
12. 13.
Well, his best performance in this tournament, he got to the semi-finals last year, where Zhang Anda beat him. Prior to that, quarter-finalist in 2014, but this is only the 6th time he's played in the event. Did skip a few years in its original iteration. Beat Logon Yi, didn't he, in the Hong Kong Masters, the invitation event a couple of years ago. He also played Alison Fisher back in '93 in the Matchroom League. Obviously, that was a bit of a lifetime ago, really. This doesn't seem to have worked out, this shot.
28.
Still, he's on this one. Could have been easier.
$29.
Yeah, just taking time to scan the table. Try and make a plan. Lovely little shot
31.
there. To be on these bottom red. But also put it in an area that has this red to the middle.
$32. Ronnie O'Sullivan,
Missed there, not only
32.
That's the most difficult shot ever, but missed it by a long way for him.
Yeah, I mean, one thing he's lacking is sharpness, isn't it? Because he's sat out the last few tournaments. So it may be that anything that is, you know, sort of out of range, if you like, in terms of difficulty, may be a challenge. We'll see. But anyway, Mink is now looking to settle in herself to this table, to this environment, to who she's playing, and the whole occasion.
Six.
Actually struck
Seven.
pot. Still a little bit of work to do, as you need to on the tour, but learning and improving all the time.
Bases herself in Sheffield during the season. Obviously, there's a quite a vibrant community there of players from China and Thailand to practice with. She says her favourite player, actually, in terms of sort of seeking inspiration, is Mark Selby, who will be seen later against Jamie Clark.
$14.
But with each pot, should be getting a little bit more comfortable,
20.
a little bit more settled.
$21.
Well, not clean. And is now a little hampered on the next red.
27.
Terrific recovery.
Yeah, put yourself under some unnecessary pressure there, but a lovely pot.
$35.
Well, he was in, but missed that pink.
$36.
What this red to the right is. I think she'd like to ideally be on the pink. Nice little angle on the pink. Gonna bring the last red into play.
$43.
Because she's landed nearly straight in this red, that she just came down to see the black where exactly she'd like to be. It's quite a big target, that red. Not sure if there's a gap for the white to go behind it. Just take that extra couple of seconds. That was the importance of having the white ball in the perfect position.
$44.
think she has enough of an angle there to stun over.
Mink Nutcharut, 44.
Well, I guess at least she didn't bring the red out in the end, missing the pink. It's divided concentration, isn't it? Trying to dislodge the red, missing the pot. Sullivan taking the double, though. So, what an interesting start.
Yeah, with missing that easy pink probably puts a little bit more pressure on Mink in this frame. It's going along so nicely. Chances against Ronnie are hard to come by. Have to maximise them when you do get them. That large crowd that's come in for this match, we had to wait for it. Certainly added to the atmosphere.
So, very interesting moment already. It's only frame one. Mink 17 in front with a chance on the last red here to win this opening frame.
One.
She needs black and yellow. Oh, thought that was wide at first, but no. So yellow it is.
8.
For a dramatic start. O'Sullivan had that initial chance, didn't he? But missed a pink. She needs to rest here, so it's just a little more complicated than it could have been. Big shot this already in this match.
Mink Nutcharut, 8.
Yeah, you just get a sense of the importance of that shot.
Well, the audience have had to wait for this match, but it's already dramatic. O'Sullivan reprieved. It sort of feels like a decider, doesn't it, already?
Yeah, but I certainly think the crowd, not just the size of the crowd, but their enjoyment of seeing O'Sullivan, seeing top-class snooker, just giving it a sense of occasion.
Yeah, I mean, all the tournaments on the World Snooker Tour are broadcast in China, but here in Nanjing it's the first ranking event they've seen, so many people here, I'm sure most of them are seeing live snooker for the first time. Ronnie O'Sullivan for the first time. Well, she's had one attempt at the yellow. If she pots this, then O'Sullivan needs a snooker.
He's usually reliable in this kind of shot, just straight cueing. Struck it well, of course, just needing the yellow. Don't have to worry too much about the cue ball, just a plain pot. So I'd like to see this green go in as well, just to put the frame to bed.
She's looked pretty confident as well, hasn't she? Right from the start. You know, she's played her shot, she's attacked. So very interesting. Obviously O'Sullivan has come in as a big favourite, but he's going to be 1-0 down.
Nine.
They said one or two scares during this frame, but the fact that she's got the frame on the board will really mean she can just settle down into the match.
14. 20.
So in this battle of the world, well, frame 2 is underway on table 1. Underway on table 1 in frame 2. Mink has broken off here. Ronnie O'Sullivan trailing 1-0. He was in early. He had a good early chance off a fluke, didn't he? But it came to an end, and Mink eventually potted frame ball yellow, having missed it. Guo Chang, who's come through the qualifying, he of course beat O'Sullivan the last time we saw him at the English Open a few weeks ago. Very generous applause led from O'Sullivan there. The safety shot, opening reds, getting the cue ball back to ball, the cushion.
Yeah, the match we played in the UK Championship was noticeable, that and as a result getting good length. He was just in amongst them. As mentioned, just lost the cue ball a little piece.
Just felt watching her in that first frame, she didn't seem overawed, and you're in.
And what the crowd have obviously come to see Ronnie play. They'll certainly be taken to Mink, her personality and manner. Obviously, the more frames she gets on the board, the crowd's allegiance could very quickly turn. Again, she's got another opportunity here.
Yeah, that wasn't too close. And the same red is now available for O'Sullivan.
One. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
As I mentioned earlier, his application this season probably hasn't been the usual standard.
Well, he was patient there, and it looks like he's got his reward. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the season he's had, he's not played as many tournaments as the other top players, but semis in Shanghai, semis in Xi'an, quarters in Riyadh. You know, a lot of people would say that's a good start, but obviously he's measured to high standards, and he measures himself to them as well. And he wasn't happy with how he was playing. He took a couple of tournaments off, but I'm sure he's been putting the work in ahead of not just this event, but as Fergal says, some big tournaments coming up.
Yeah, I never took it as a positive sign that he was talking about playing a lot of matches or tournaments left-handed. He's brilliant with his bad left hand, but still not as good, obviously, as with his right. And when his attitude and application are at his best, he only plays the left-handed shots as and when they're needed.
6.
Maybe having a couple of weeks off, missing a few tournaments. Just refreshed recharge the batteries.
Just kiss this red, but it seems it does just about go.
7.
First day of the tournament, brand new cloth. So there will be
14.
we're playing slightly more generous, sliding in a little bit of the new cloth.
15.
I also feel with Ronnie, apart from being dissatisfied with his own
22.
form, at some point I feel he'll just get a little bit fed up with Judd
23.
and Kyron Wilson getting all the attention. Want to stamp his authority, come back and show that he's still the man.
Well, it was interesting, wasn't it? Wilson said after he beat Trump last.
Yeah, lovely shot there
46.
from Ronnie, well controlled into the pack. Screw back off the cushion.
$47. $52.
Front of blue, it screwed back a little bit further than he would like, but it was nice piece of cueing there.
$60. 61.
So this black effectively for the second frame. Mink did have the chance, didn't she? She had the red 2 right middle from a safety error from O'Sullivan.
68.
But now he's arrived in this match.
69.
Well,
76.
the century's tally stands for his career at 1,272.
77.
But this would be, for him, a first in Nanjing, another city to tick off a long list. This is what you hope to see, I guess, if you bought a ticket, and so many people have. A Ronnie O'Sullivan century.
84.
Yeah, smooth and efficient, as always, when he's at his
91.
best.
I think close in, it'll take him a long time to decline, actually. I guess maybe there's some other areas of the game, the long game, that's not quite as strong as it was, you could argue, but in this position, you know, he still looks as good as he ever did.
Yeah, there was a period a few years ago where his long
98.
game was poor. He mentioned that himself, but somehow he managed to address it. But certainly in amongst them, as this century's shown how brilliant he is.
This is what they've come to see.
104. 106.
And it's what he needed, let's be honest, after the first frame.
109.
Yeah, it's great to see. First time in the tournament here, so just appreciation of all the little nuances of the game. Enjoying every bit of it.
Yeah, I mean, He's excused qualifying. He's got what they call the promoter's pick. The promoter has a choice. Who else are you going to pick? Let's be honest. Brought in a massive crowd, and he's already entertaining them.
Ronnie Sullivan, 118 and frame.
Right. So Ronnie O'Sullivan's made a century, his 9th of the season, and he's off and running here. Mink having won a close first frame. She had that one chance in the last one, missed a red to right middle. That was her only chance in the end. Be sort of clamouring to get a picture, but obviously he doesn't want to be put off playing towards the audience here. And thankfully, for whoever it was, he wasn't put off.
One. Six. Seven. Twelve. Thirteen.
Yeah, the black was a little bit more difficult to punt than he would have liked. Tricky red across the table, the opposite middle.
$21.
Cued it very well.
$27.
Yeah, definitely the time and
28.
place to play a left-handed shot there. Anxious look for this pink to be able to pass. Random bridge just thrown in for. He started doing that a little piece after he'd been playing a little bit of pool.
34.
Didn't really catch on.
Well, in no time at all, he's got the balls open into positions where he can, again, kill the frame off in a single visit. I guess he's just looking to build up a bit of form, a bit of confidence. Well, is black going back on its spot? Is it in the way? Seems to be.
42.
To be fair, that spot's always been there, hasn't it?
Yeah, be annoyed with that. Very
Ronnie
uncharacteristic.
42.
Didn't try anything wild though, did he? You know, he's treating Mink with every respect here.
Surprised Mink went for that. Standard enough safety shot instead. It's a good sign, confident potting it. However,
1.
can't be a danger playing O'Sullivan, trying to push the boat out a little bit too much. Fearful you're not going to get easy chances. So taking greater risks, which can just play into Ronnie's hands.
Well, he ran too far for the black, but the blue is dispatched.
6.
One of those shots you knew he would have to get it, and he has done.
Again, with that blue, I think the fact the brand new cloth
Ronnie Sullivan.
helped him there. It was definitely a miss, and you can see they're definitely frustrated. He made a poor mistake earlier on in the frame, and he just about accepted it. Wasn't going to accept 2 of them.
Well, for Mink to have any chance today, these are the sort of chances she has to seize upon, because O'Sullivan with the century again in this frame, the danger is he just goes off into the distance, and an hour from now the match is over. But he has missed. Only significant if she can get right back into the frame. There's one red safe on the left-hand side cushion. Everything else out in the open.
Red. Not only is it difficult, but it's made a little bit more difficult by the fact that she knows she should be closer. Shouldn't have to use the rest. It's a nice putt, nice recovery.
She'll commit fully to the next shot. She played well when she won that mixed doubles with Neil Robertson. She very much was a big part of that success. But again here,
11.
having to get the rest out again.
Green ball. Mink Nutcharut. 12.
Good at recovery shots, his strength, but also you can argue a sign of weakness. To play more of them than you should. Just losing that cue ball a little piece. We've already seen enough today. You can see strong in all departments. Just has to capitalise and maximise the chances when they come.
One.
Well, it's a fluke now. 5 in front. So now we do look at that red on the left-hand side cushion. It's going to play its part, you feel.
Five. $12. $13.
Also certainly been fluent and business-like in amongst the balls. Just the issue now of that last red on the left-hand side cushion.
20.
Fantastic shot.
21.
Beautifully judged, the old strike contact. Yeah, it's given her a great opportunity. He'd have enjoyed that himself.
Mink Nutcharut, 21.
From the sublime to the ridiculous. Yeah. Trying to laugh and smile it off, but tough to take a miss like that, particularly after such a good shot.
Well, the previous shot could not have gone better, could it? Frees the red, gets prime position, and then misses the easy black. So O'Sullivan has been, let's be honest, handed a few chances in this match. Could easily have been trailing by now, but looking very likely to hit the front.
5.
Yellow and green needed. Dramatic start, entertaining start, but frustrating for Mink there, having fashioned the opening. Couldn't take it. It's one of those shots she'll be replaying more than once, I imagine, in her mind. In the days to come, if she doesn't
14.
ultimately win this match. Because that was a chance to get O'Sullivan under some early pressure. He's been short of matches, we know that. And of course, when he missed initially, he sort of rapped the table. He wasn't happy in this frame, but that's all in the past now.
$25. 32 and the frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, with a performance. With a chance. Just undermines your confidence slightly.
Yeah, it's one thing, isn't it? I mean, if she came out today and was just outplayed and lost 6-0, that would be no disgrace. But the fact she's had chances and had a good one in frame 3, that's the disappointment. It's when you've had the chance in your own hands and haven't taken it. There's such a good pot after the black she missed in the last frame.
Mink Nutcharut, 1.
Well, obviously what's made that miss worse is get fortunate with the cue ball.
One. Ronnie O'Sullivan,
Yeah, the
1.
blue was just a little bit thinner than we would have liked.
大家赶紧尽快保持
Yeah, a
安
little
静
bit
下
of
来。
first, and a little bit of ball colour. That's also why he didn't go into them at full pace to split them. Wasn't 100% confident of potting the blue. A let off from Mink, and should be glad to be
1.
back at the table. And she's the angle. Play the brown and swing it around off. 3 cushions. Those couple of reds close to the black are available to the left corner. Would have looked to be on that red closest to the black that
5.
she's having a look at. Still is another.
Well, it's another example of Mink really committing to the shot. You know, she's been confident in her approach, and it's good to see, having slipped up in the last frame, that's continuing. She's determined to try and take the game to Ronnie O'Sullivan. But that blue was not close, so that's been the issue. It's not been her attitude, it's just she's been making mistakes. May got away with this, though.
Yeah, you couldn't say she's went into her shell at all, far from it. Her shot selection's been excellent. On the positive side.
Yeah, well, she got lucky not leaving him in. Just to say, Karen Wilson 3-0 up against Mitchell Mann on table 2, so continuing the good form we saw last week in Belfast. Time was, you know, you'd win a tournament, you could sort of celebrate for a few weeks, but none of that. Karen, a couple of days at home, then on the plane out to China. Three-one up Carter at the interval. Noppen Senkarm against Wang Jimbo is 2-1 up.
Nicely played, safety acknowledged by Ronnie. So that kind of shot where playing ball, needed good contact. Plays them very well. But in the context of the match, you feel she has to win this frame. Ronnie hasn't been at his clinical best. But you do feel if he went 3-1 up, he only gets stronger.
One.
Just took time there to see exactly where he wants the cue ball to be.
Six. Seven. 13. 14.
He's taken a few shots, but in absolute prime position now again.
$21. 22.
Certainly so far you couldn't question his attitude or application.
29.
Haven't seen it at this level all season.
30.
Yeah, lovely shot. Well controlled.
37.
Yeah, certainly what's changed in terms of his career, he now prioritises these events in Asia, China in particular. which was not always the case. So we've already seen the way he's played in this match. It's been proper stuff. He's treated Mink with every respect. He's been playing the proper shots. And that makes it very dangerous.
46.
Doesn't mean he's going to win the tournament because there's so many other people playing well, but he's determined to put on a good show for these fans here in this part of the world. In fact, just last week it was announced that he's been granted residency in Hong Kong. Doesn't mean he's going to move there immediately, but he has the option to live out there.
51.
Just needs to kill this frame off now. He's 45 in front, so still going to deal with this red.
52.
We'll still need another red after the blue. It's been actually quite closely fought in some ways. Mink has had the chances. I think that's what will be disappointing for her. She's had a chance in this frame, of course, the last one as well, a big chance.
58.
But she's going to be 3-1 down at the interval. And the danger always when O'Sullivan hits the front is he just stays there.
66.
I think she couldn't really hope for much better chances. You told her beforehand she was going to get those chances. She'd been more than pleased. The fact she didn't take them.
73.
You do fear.
74.
Could be century number 2 coming up.
Typical Ronnie break. Good cue ball control when needed. And a few little subtle
82.
cannons and disturbing the packs that you don't really notice. But the balls are in the open. Now they're all gone.
85.
Just slightly overdid it. He sort of winced. This is the thing. He's not happy with just, you know, making breaks and winning frames and matches.
Wow.
Trying to use the angle there to get on the pin.
It started last season, but I definitely think it's made for a better atmosphere. Most of the tournaments now in China, the front row is a lot closer to the table. Plenty of times seemed a bit too further back. Yeah, great atmosphere in this match. Really enjoying having the greatest of all time playing, being able to see him live. Makes play their part as well in the entertainment.
Mink Nutcharut 4.
Well, the temerity of the cue ball to find the pocket there. He's
very well struck.
1.
Because there was pressure on it. Let's see if she missed, guaranteed to leave Ronnie. Just a question. After this interval now, can she improve her cue ball control?
8.
As a result, that makes break building so much easier.
Mink Nutcharut
similar to
8.
earlier on in the match, just out of nowhere. A miss you couldn't possibly foresee.
Well, she's potting the difficult ones. That's the frustrating thing. She's potting all the tough ones, and then she's missing the easier ones. Just should say quickly, by the way, we have had 3 players who've withdrawn. Anthony Hamilton, so short.
As a player, if you've been beaten in a qualifier and then gets to the venue, the person that beat you pulls out. I'm not sure for what reasons, but
Still a few people coming in after the interval, so there's a bit of movement. The referee is sort of doing his best to keep everyone still. Just saw a close-up, but it's a great pot actually, that from the side cushion.
if he wins this tournament, half the tour will have plasters for the next tournament.
16.
Just avoid that red there, which he's played for.
22.
He's looking to be parallel on the black now.
23.
Well, Mark Williams plays like this, doesn't he, holding the rest in the air? These legends, they can do what they like if they're this good.
I believe the crowd would appreciate that. Probably something they've never seen before. Again, very quickly.
38.
Just a few subtle developments. He's got the balls in beautiful position.
39.
This is it. It's such a sort of quick kill at times, isn't it? He's still the quickest player on the circuit. 16.5 seconds average shot time this season.
45.
Yet never looks rushed.
Yeah, exactly.
$46.
Also, when your
53.
opponent's been missing easy chances, you just become more fluent. They have even greater freedom.
54.
Coming nearly like a practice match for him. But right from the start, his application has been excellent.
Sorry, Phil. I think this is why the early frames are important in these matches, because Mink had the chance to put pressure on, didn't she? Still needs another red here. He's just checking the scoreboard.
61.
Not quite over the line yet in this frame. But yeah, certainly had she gone 2-1 up, then maybe that would have put a bit of pressure on.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 61.
But this frame not done yet. He might be done if he knocks this in. Needs red and colour. Now, where's this going? Not in the pocket. Any colour will do here.
1.
And it's going to be 4-1.
First time this match, Ronnie there has his bridge hand.
7.
Not extending his fingers out, a couple of knuckles.
8.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to mention Mark Williams. He
14.
played sensationally well in Saudi Arabia, just very unlucky not to win the final.
15.
And then he got a new cue for the next tournament. And he said, people asked him why, and he said, well, it motivated me to go and practice with it because I knew I had to. These sort of great players, even with the bridge hand there, maybe just looking for new things, even this late in their career, to experiment with, just to keep things fresh. You sort of can't compare them, I guess, to a lot of players, really.
22.
Yeah, maybe as we seen earlier with the plaster, maybe it might be something to do with that. But I said he did have a little spell of doing it after playing a couple of pool tournaments. And just his two middle fingers, well, he had one of there. Instead of fully being extended, it's kind of like tucked
28.
under.
31.
Well, whatever the reason, he's pulling away now in this match.
$35. 40.
There'll be 100 articles written tomorrow about
46.
him tucking his fingers in like that. But that's the fascination with Ronnie O'Sullivan. It continues, doesn't it? 4-1 down in this best of 11 on day one of the International Championship. Ronnie O'Sullivan needing 2 more. And if he does win, he'll play He Guo Chang, of course, beat him in the English Open. So that will be an interesting sort of rematch. Don't be pushing reds near pockets. Unless you get that little flick on the brown. What a...
Beautiful shot. Had a look about playing the safety shot, but was that red he just played. Again, probably felt even if he did just take it away.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
Black was still difficult to play at a pace to try and get out for the red. A bit frustrated missing it, that still remained safe, on actually worse on the side cushion.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Well, David Corsier would have been proud of that one. He just won the World Billiards title a couple of days ago, where, of course, in-offs are part of how you score. Congratulations to him.
Had to be very thin contact on that red. Got it too thick. We're fortunate enough not to leave anything. Yeah, nicely played. Good contact on the red. Good result. Good pacing. Close that cushion.
See there, the close-up. He's got sort of plasters on sort of the nail part of his fingers.
Yeah, it's those same two middle fingers that he's had kind of tucked under when he's playing, so maybe that's an issue. Still be loads of people trying it later in the club.
Well, it's like the old sort of Tony Mio sort of tapping finger, middle finger, isn't it? You know, you sort of used to see. Well, the black is completely out of commission, and the pink also tied up. So this is not straightforward chance for Mink. Been sort of bits and pieces from her in the match. She did make a 44 in that opening frame that she ultimately won. It's her highest though of the match.
Mink Nutcharut, 3.
Ronnie take the opportunity to try and bring the black into play, the balls, get them open, get them in play.
Just to remind you, later on we've got Rhian Evans, the most successful female player in history, 12 times world champion, taking on Ding Junhui. That'll be some occasion here in China. Mark Selby plays Jamie Clark on table 2. John Higgins also in action, as is Ricky Walden, another former winner. He's playing Zhao Gudong, of course, who won the last ranking event in China, the Women Open, a few weeks ago. Seems a long time ago, all that now, doesn't it? It's only 2 tournaments ago, but Belfast was so eventful, such a great event. And now this is the 8th ranking tournament already of this season.
Playing this red. Play cannon to those 2 reds close to the left hand cushion. And also then remain on the black.
Seven.
I'd like to come back a little bit further, have a red
14.
right middle. As a result, just play.
$15. $20.
Has to be careful here in putting this that gets free of those reds and doesn't leave yourself hampered.
$21.
Played that last shot well and managed to leave it in position where there's that gap to cue. Again, with a nice little shot there.
28.
The women's tour is vastly been developed in recent times, and they have tournaments all around the world. They're in America, they're in Australia, their World Championships played in. Women have been eligible to play professional snooker basically since it began, but certainly in the UK, snooker clubs not always the most welcoming places back in the day for women and girls. Alison Fisher was a real trailblazer. She beat several male players in her pomp. And Rhian Evans since then, of course, has dominated the women's game.
Let this blue get in and out of balk and on the red. Try and play it hard, try and put it into an area. And she couldn't have played that much better, to be fair. A little unlucky, she's slightly hampered queuing, but just has to drop the red in. Yes, a
Mink Nutcharut,
little bit
42.
unfortunate.
So things were looking good until Mink left herself in that rather nasty spot, nowhere near the pot, and O'Sullivan back at the table. Meantime, on table 2, Kyron Wilson's 5-0 up now against Mitchell Mann, so the winner in Belfast, the world champion, looking very good to progress. As is Ali Carter, he's 5-1 up against Kay Way. He's a wild card. Carter won the Championship League at the start of the season. His form since then has been poor, but maybe things will start to turn around this week.
9.
Simon Blackwell, he beat Jack Jones to qualify, and he's 2-2 with another Welshman, Matthew Stevens. In fact, he was 2-0 up.
$15.
The young Chinese player Zhang Jun is 3-2 up against Iran's Amir Sarkosh.
$16. Ronnie, 16.
Well, that did come out of nowhere, and he was as surprised as anybody. So
One. Seven. Eight.
More or less straight, just had to settle for rolling it in. But again, 39 ahead, just needs this red. No heroics,
15.
just rolled it in.
very unexpected miss from O'Sullivan on that blue, just when it looked like 5-1. Yeah, Mink has done well to take advantage. Two snookers required, but the pink's in as well. So it's going to be 4-2. And let's be honest, the chance she had in the fourth frame, you know, could easily have been all square this match.
$23. Mink Nutcharut, 23.
So O'Sullivan This is day one of 8, the final a week today. The semi-finals are best of 17, so they'll be played over 2 days, Friday and Saturday. As usual, there was the PR day yesterday with the red carpet, and it's literally a red carpet. The players are made to feel like film stars. Big press gathering, fans as well, being made a fuss of. Little unlike some of the UK events where you basically just sort of turn up, don't you, and that's it, no ceremony. One of my ideas, Fergal, which I'm going to run past you as a former runner-up at the Masters. The Masters, US Masters Golf, they have a dinner, don't they, for the sort of former winners and night before. Why not have one at the Snooker for the top 16 and the defending champ picks the meal?
Yeah, fantastic.
Dread to think what some of them would pick, but even so.
You know, I do think those kind of ideas are good. Traditions of the game, celebrating the great moments and the great players.
Well, that's another, got to say, unexpected miss, having missed the blue to the same pocket in the last frame. Yeah, I do think it's a serious point in a way. We can do maybe more to put the players not on a pedestal, but emphasise the fact they're top sports people. The fact they're down to earth is what people like. That's one of the appeals of snooker, but maybe there are other ways to celebrate their status around the actual tournament. Obviously playing takes care of itself.
I think even the media day they have the day before the World Championship starts, even it might be slightly inconvenient for some of the players that play during the week, I think that just adds to it. Gives a greater sense of occasion.
Definitely, yeah, and quite right. They line up outside, they get the picture taken in front of the Crucible. That's all part of it, and it shows if you're in the top 16, you know you belong amongst that company.
Yeah, it's a photograph you want to be involved in. And again, for the likes of the fans, to be able there and have the top 16 or have access to them can only be a good thing.
Well, I'm not saying the wheels have come off, that's being dramatic, but O'Sullivan just starting to struggle a bit here.
Frame's taking a little bit longer. Nicely played.
1.
Winning that last frame would have got her confidence back and also her concentration. She has had chances. And certainly if she was to make a break here and win this frame, get a little bit more interesting. With this red at the bottom of the pack, have to power through those reds, probably relying on a bit of luck to get out and end up in a colour. Certainly worth the gamble. It's going to open the game.
Nine.
Yeah, it looked like she should play higher up in the white and try and power through them, go up the table to balk.
Bramble.
Try to be a little bit precise.
Mink Nutcharut. 9.
Well, it's a very interesting phase of the match, isn't it? Because Mink has just found a way back into it. O'Sullivan has just made a few errors the last sort of 20 minutes. Well, that red did its best to wriggle in, but it's held on.
One.
Well, the cheering is next door. Karen Wilson has made a clearance to complete a whitewash over Man, 6-0. You can hear the applause from the audience. Keeping eyes on that one, not just this match. So Karen Wilson, his great run continues. Winner in Belfast last weekend and already through to round 2 here. He'll play Lu Hongyu of China in the last 64.
It was a little unfortunate, kind of the last safety shot. Didn't know exactly where the balls were going to go, but left that red over the middle. Red over the corner, sorry.
17.
The very thing she didn't want has happened, running back in amongst them.
$24.
Ali Carter also a winner, 6-1 over Carway at the wild card.
25.
Yeah, he was slightly hampered, but
25.
it's another unexpected miss all the same. Just as he was looking to get into this frame, but into this match, full stop. It kind of, the door looked like it was closed on her really at 4-1.
One.
Yes, Ronnie's concentration the last 15-20 minutes definitely dropped.
Mink Nutcharut. 1.
Yeah, again, from nowhere, Mink. Standard is dropping, but the interest and excitement is getting higher.
A lot of oohs and ahs. Yeah, it's become ragged.
And as a result of those bad misses by both players, the table's got a little bit scrappier. And it'll be more drawn out. Sharpness. Last couple of months hasn't played that much snooker, and certainly not been winning that many matches. You're pleased just to try and get through today, something to build on. However, mightn't be anything to build on. Mink keeps putting balls like that.
1. 7.
You can see they're playing with topspin. It's checked.
Eight.
Difficult testing pink now. Yeah, a little bit awkward. Just when she put her hand on the table there, trying to get comfortable. But she's well aware of the pressure on this shot. Yeah, very good shot. She's put some great balls today, but also missed some very easy ones. There's just an uneasy feeling watching her at the moment.
$15.
But throughout the match, she's kept her.
Well, I think it's a really interesting part of the match, this, so Sullivan has started to struggle.
21.
Doesn't mean he won't win, though, Mink. She's got to try and put as much pressure on as she can. It's still a slightly awkward table in terms of winning the frame at this visit. The one thing today, she's been very...
$28.
Nice bit of luck there. Brought that other red into play. She did, it was a hell of a shot.
$32. $33.
Working hard for all these points. And to see there's that red past the pink. A very strong position in the frame. The black passes the pink to the right corner. Might be tempted to play the double.
Mink Nutcharut. 40.
Nice little shot from Ronnie there just to play the safety and manage to develop the blue. She's getting good at those. And again, shot into this, that little glance in the pink.
Snooker gods, isn't it? O'Sullivan's missed a few, maybe he shouldn't have, and now, you know, the running he's going certainly for his opponent. I think they will still need, of course, the last. So just looking to
Mink Nutcharut.
play the snooker. 26 in front, in a strong position for sure. This match was looking kind of like it was petering out at 4-1, but not now.
Foul and miss. Mink Nutcharut 6.
6 points onto the total. Can't afford to do that again. 32 in it, so even a 4-point foul here, and O'Sullivan would need a snooker. So this is an adjustment needed. Wang Wei is the referee. Well,
Foul. Mink
if
Nutcharut,
anything, he got much more of the
6.
pink, didn't he? So that won't be called a miss. 38 in it, with 35 on. That would have ended things for sure, as it is one snooker needed.
Elected screw back for the black. Again, the blue quite close to the yellow, so if you can get the white close to it, there's possibility. Yeah, put it in that position. Again, you'd expect Mink now to be snooker behind the blue. And that yellow ideally be close to possibly the pink. It just makes the escape more difficult.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 8.
Blink of an eye, seems to turn the frame totally around.
Well, he once, of course, worked with the late, great Ray Reardon, didn't he, about 20 years ago now, and I know that Ray's sort of contribution was multifaceted, but certainly this side of the game, laying good snookers, was a big part of it. He would have been proud of that one. What a massive difference not potting that red along the cushion. That goes in, we're definitely into the next frame. This is a good attempt.
Foul.
Wow, how unlucky is that, going round the back of it. And now O'Sullivan can win the frame. I mean, imagine trying to do that.
2.
Yeah, the only saving grace, of course, the green doesn't pass the brown, so
Ronnie O'Sullivan 2.
not the best safety shot he's ever played. She's come around to have a look at that putting angle. Again, this kind of shot she plays very well. Just a plain ball, cueing strike. Might have got second prize. Yeah, brilliant shot. To judge that swerve, to get the right connection, just to clip it onto the side cushion. reduced into trying to get that snooker behind the brown. It's left the screen, but it's difficult. So one good pot here from Mink. Reduce the deficit to 1 frame. Surprised she turned down that opportunity. Might get a better one. It's kind of shot you could play with a little bit of pace and authority.
Just feels like this is the most important part of the match, really. If O'Sullivan does win the frame, you fancy him strongly to win the match. 4-3, though, who knows? Because his form has tailed off last couple of frames. The green was available. I wasn't sure. O'Sullivan had a good look, didn't he? Didn't give us any clues, but she knocked it in, so...
3.
2 snookers needed now, with the brown potentially to follow. Mink has dug in well here. Her attitude's been excellent. And we're going into frame 8 with just 1 between them.
7.
So O'Sullivan being put under it by the former women's world champion. Currently top of the women's rankings, Mink Nutcharut. Now potting everything.
12.
Yeah, that blue she potted was a lot more difficult than the green she refused, but obviously the frame won.
18.
A lot of people felt this would be a comfortable win for O'Sullivan, and at 4-1 that looked likely, but
Mink Nutcharut.
Mink Nutcharut has
18.
going to come through.
大家尽快安静下来。
Karen Wilson is already through. Ali Carter also a winner in this session. The defending champion, Zhang Anda, had to come off 5-4 up to Ishpreet Singh Chadha because they overran their slot, so they'll be back later, 5-4 to Zhang. Well, it's a great start to the frame for O'Sullivan,
1.
but can he now get amongst the reds here and get something going?
Four. 5. 12.
Purposely let himself this angle here on the red to pot it. Screw back off the pack for the black. Open the whole frame up.
13.
Better shot than it looked.
20.
Didn't much angle, managed to power it. Get away from the cushion, back out into the middle of the table.
Yeah, you don't win as many titles as Ronnie O'Sullivan without
21.
finding levels when you have to. He's sort of being forced now into playing better, isn't he? And that means he probably will. At one point he was sort of coasting through, but the last couple of frames mistakes crept in. He's looking here to be more clinical.
25.
His intensity and concentration levels dropped those last couple of frames.
Yeah, and the thing is, best of 11s, they're quite long matches, aren't they? I mean, there was a lot of fuss
32.
years ago when the UK Championship was reduced from best of 17, but in terms of sort of frames you see in a session, you're pretty much guaranteed to see more in a best of 11.
33.
So there is time for your focus to go, particularly if you're not being put under pressure, but he sort of is now, so this is him, I guess, trying to respond.
$38. $39. $46. $47. $52. $53.
From what looked like an innocuous break off very quickly. Looks like this frame could well be over. Taking these very well.
16.
Well, I've not been running the clock on this Fergal, but this
61.
frame has not been in progress very long at all, has it? We're at frame ball, and normal
66.
service resumed, it would seem. I mean, he went out the arena between frames, maybe just to get his head together, and this has been the result. A quick kill in frame 8.
Yeah, very debilitating.
57.
I think would have started to have hopes and getting back, maybe getting level. But they've gone, and they've gone very quickly.
$69.
Well, 3 snookers required, as it stands.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 69.
Not taking any liberties. He won't be happy with that
Right.
safety, but anyway, Mink is not going to play on. So, well, in the blink of an eye. Ronnie O'Sullivan has broken off here in frame 9. 5-3, he leads Mink Nutcharut in this race to 6 to reach round 2 of the Inter-Championship.
Yeah, he felt it was imperative. She had the first opportunity. Get Ronnie, nice chance. Just get an angle with the black hair. You feel
One.
one good shot here. 4 or 5 minutes could be over. Got them open all right, the white.
Oh, that is so good. And now, the table at his mercy.
9.
Start the clock.
He did this a few times last season. There were matches that were in the balance, and suddenly there'd be a spurt of a couple of frames that he just killed off quickly with big breaks.
$12. 13.
As he wants and as he chooses, just steps in and makes a couple of frame and breaks. Good night.
It'd be very interesting, assuming he wins the match, to see how he does this week. As I said at the start, he hasn't won one of these 1-2-8 flat draw events where everyone comes in round one for 6 years. Now, he's won plenty of other tournaments,
19.
massive ones since then, including the World Championship. But playing every single day, trying to maintain that concentration across a week is a different challenge. He Guo Chang beat him in his last event,
24.
the English Open. He will be the next opponent if O'Sullivan comes through. One thing's for sure, though, as long as he's here, there's going to be a massive
25.
crowd. In fact, to hold up play today for nearly an hour to get everyone in.
Of course, he goes on to complete victory here, which we kind of expect from playing the second round match the day before, where his opponent won his qualifier weeks ago. More or less playing Ronnie, if not at his absolute peak.
33.
Certainly a bit fresher and sharper. He felt he just needed this kind of workout today. Hasn't been as clinical as we'd expect. We do feel he'll be sharper and better tomorrow.
39. $40.
The fact today that he hasn't been at his most clinical has actually added to the
45.
intrigue and interest in the match. Been very entertaining. Where Mink has played a part in that.
46.
Yeah, she's competed actually really well, but it looks like unless something goes wrong here, she's not going to get a chance in the last 2 frames.
51.
Cue ball just travelled on a bit, didn't it? He looks like he's okay, though.
52. $59. 60.
We'll check of the scores. 2 more pots required for victory. Just that mid part of the match where it looked like his concentration just went a bit,
66.
but when he had to get it back, it's all clicked into gear again.
7.
And Mink, who played her part, just didn't get a chance, did she, from 4-3?
$74.
Yeah, good signs that his concentration got better.
75.
He was able to reel off these couple of frames. There's some form there, but not quite that match sharpness he's going to need to win the tournament. But so long as he's in the tournament, that'll come.
81.
Well, he did make a century
82.
in the early part of the match. Can he finish with 1, as he so often seems to? The grandstand sort of finishes to matches are his thing, aren't they?
89. 90.
Karen Wilson said after winning in Belfast, we can't rely on the class of '92 forever, which of course is correct. But there's a hell of a lot of people who hope that they continue for a long time. He's not happy with that one, is he? He's just left this awkward in terms of another century. And he's knocked it in beautifully. So, Ronnie O'Sullivan to finish the match with his second century of this contest. He made a real dash for the line, didn't he? 4-3. Things have got tough. In the blink of an eye, it's all over.
107. $110.
Fascinating time in the game, isn't it? We've got the likes of Wilson and Trump, of course, at the top of the rankings. Other players, Mark Allen as well, in their 30s. We've got some young talents like Si Jiawei coming along, Wu Yize. But these legends are refusing to budge, aren't they? And on their day, as we're seeing here, they can still produce the goods.
119.
This, though, maybe the form O'Sullivan will have to produce more consistently this week if he's to win, but he's still here in round 2. And this has been a pretty dazzling finish, hasn't it? Free. He's made a 1-3-2 total clearance in the last frame. A big crowd in to watch a fascinating match between two world champions. A very gracious O'Sullivan asking the crowd to applaud Mink Nutcharut at the end.
Hope you guys like this my Snooker King 125 videos. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my more other videos.
Okay, let's go.